regarding the sixth fundamental truth, there is means of liberation, which is to be understood by a Sadguru. The disciple has a doubt. He feels either there is no means of liberation or there is no undisputed path of liberation, or there are many, many ways and I can't decide. So 3 arguments. First, karmo kal anantana shati chedya jaya. What is the undisputed absolute path of liberation? Explained from verse 98 to 104. Second was athva mat darshan ghana kahe upay anek. સાચું શું છે ખોટું શું છે ખબર પડતી નથી. That was resolved in verse 105, 106. The Guru agrees there are different paths. Many religions, many philosophies, sects, subsects, major differences, minor differences, but there are many paths, but you need not be confused. So, in verse 105, beautiful advice we get. Giving up your agraha and agraha temaj vikalp. Temaj means and. So, agraha and vikalp of mat and darshan. So, mat means faiths, religions. Darshan means philosophies. Correct? What do you need to give up? A short recap and then we finish the third one. What you need to give up? Agraha and vikalp. So what is agraha? Your strong opinion, your stubborn attitude, your insistence of your opinion. That is agraha. What is vikalp? So we say, ભાઈ બહુ બધા વિકલ્પો છે, meaning બહુ બધા options છે. You need to be decisive, right? Just say this kitchen department here on the other platform. So if they go on sending me 5, 10 vehicles every day, શું ખાશો breakfast માં, શું ખાશો lunch માં, so it's going to be confusing. So you need to, and what does the Guru say? So vikalp means different options. Vikalp can also mean doubt. But let's stick to one meaning. Vikalp meaning choice. Your choice of viewpoints. What is hidden in your choice of viewpoints? Prejudices. Understand? If I'm a lover of the Guru Shishya tradition, wherever I don't find this Guru Shishya tradition, I create an aversion. If I'm not in favor of gurus, you see, people are allergic to gurus also. The moment you say, I have a Sadguru in life and I follow his Agna, means you are on the wrong path. That was my choice. So you need to know the absolute path and then leave it to the seeker. I find this way. If you can do without it, fine. Correct? So, insistence or say strong opinions. Opinion was okay, but strong opinions meaning stubbornness. And vikalp meaning choice of your viewpoint, nischay, vyavhar, anything regarding practices, regarding philosophy, anything, but your choice of viewpoints. What is hidden in the viewpoints? Prejudices. So what is the Guru advising here? Chodi mat darshan tano agra temaj vikalp. Give up. Oh, disciple, beloved disciple, be a lover of truth. Don't focus on the external. Focus on the internal. So different methods or different means or different norms or different practices should not confuse you. Focus on the internal purity as shown in the above verses. So, if you follow the above path with an impartial perspective, you will surely attain liberation, if not in this birth, very few births. So where karmo kal anantana, meaning you will have to take infinite lives, if at all, if you want to get liberated. And here Guru is saying, few births. Infinite gone with the association of Guru. Now infinite can be associated only with happiness, not with Janam. Janma Tehana al, very few births he might need to take to attain liberation. So beautifully explained. And then in 106, the Guru says, you have very thoughtfully asked me 6 questions regarding the 6 fundamental truths. Shatpadna, Shatprashna. Regarding the 6 fundamentals, you asked me 6 questions. You raised 6 questions. Puchya kari vichar. That, after thinking so much, your doubts, your arguments show you have studied so much, you have pondered so much before raising this question. And we all experience that. Now what does the Guru say? Te padani sarvangata moksha marga nirdhar. In understanding and accepting the 6 fundamental truths in totality is the path of liberation. Understanding and accepting these 6 fundamental truths from multiple viewpoints constitutes the path of liberation. After listening to the explanation and the clarification the Guru gives, the Shishya has understood one thing. Understanding the 6 fundamental truths is very, very essential in the spiritual pursuit. આપણે આ બધું શું કામનું છે બસ જે આજ્ઞા કરો તે અમે પાલીએ. You have to have a strong understanding that you are the soul, eternal. So carry forward, doer of karmas. You are responsible for the fruits. All this understanding is needed to follow the path or the agna or the command of a guru in the right way. Because these 6 fundamental truths are strongly connected to each other. They have an inseparable relation. Number 1, I'm talking about Sarvangata right now. So it has to be very, very clear why this Sarvangata is needed to understand the Moksha Marg, and what is that understanding in totality, Sarvangata, what is that called? 2 things you need to understand. So Sarvangata meaning, understand one thing first. Every truth out of these 6 fundamental truths, every truth is strongly connected to each other, woven. Like if you don't accept existence of the soul, as the Charvaks, they don't accept, who will attain liberation? So if the first is only not accepted, then the sixth question will, it's if you feel the soul is momentary, Who will pursue the path and who will attain liberation? If you say it is momentary, as the Buddhists say, if you say it's the non-doer, as the Sankhya says, Sankhya Darshan says, it is pure, untouched. If you are not the doer, then why liberation? If there is no moksha, then why moksha marg? Why, if there is no liberation, why understand the path of liberation? You are seeing everything is so interconnected. The main purpose is understanding the path of liberation and get liberated. I understand. That is important. So this is what the disciple had in his mind when he raised the first question. What was the first doubt he had? There is no soul, existence of soul. Regarding that, he had a doubt. And he laid down 3 arguments. Examinati. 3 arguments. How did he conclude in verse 48? How did he conclude? माटे छे नहीं आत्मा मिथ्या मोक्ष उपाय. See, he's talking about moksha upaya from the first pad. You didn't realize that time. In his heart, he wanted only moksha upaya. Meaning moksha. He wanted to attain moksha. So the conclusion in verse 48, the conclusion he drew from the arguments he placed, Mate chhe nahi atma, because of these 3 arguments, mithya moksha upaya. Again in third pad, conclusion, verse 73. Mate moksha upaya no koi na hetu janaye, karma tanu kartapanu ka nahi jaye. See, mate moksha upaya no koi na hetu janaye. We are talking of the third pad. And the conclusion is, then there is Mate moksha upaya no koi na hetu jai. There is no sense in practicing anything, because if the soul is not the doer, why think of liberation and why practice all this? So are you understanding? The worthy disciple had only liberation and he was desirous of liberation. He was not desirous of proving the existence of the soul, but it was a must. So I'm saying all are interconnected. There is an inseparable connection between these 6 fundamental truths. So Sarvanta would mean one, they have a strong relationship, inseparable relation. It would mean that not a single truth can be left out. You can say, I believe in first, second, fourth, fifth and sixth. I only don't believe in the soul is the doer. You can't proceed. Then why are you undergoing this state or these circumstances? Why? What do you need to be free of then? Free from what? Freed from what? If you are not harboring impure feelings, if you have no karmas, तो liberation sena thi. You understand? See, I'm saying what a strong connection. You can't even doubt all or one. You can't even negate all or negate even one. 2 things. You can't even have a doubt regarding one fundamental truth also. Because then you can't go to the next. And you can't even negate. You can't even doubt, you can't even negate. The moment you doubt or you negate, then you have not grasped the path of liberation. Correct? So what does one need to do? One needs to understand it from multiple viewpoints. How the Sankhyas are also right. How the Buddhists are also right. That if you understand from different Atma Dravya Nitya che, Paryaye Paltai, see different viewpoints. You understand? And be doubtless regarding the 6 fundamental truths. Be doubtless. Then, understanding it individually, understanding it collectively, and personalizing it. This is the way you attain right faith, Samyak Darshan, meaning Darshan Moh is destroyed. See the connection. In 103, he talked about Darshan Moh. So if you understand and accept these 6 fundamental truths in totality, you will attain Samyak Darshan or right faith, by which Darshan Moh will be destroyed. Gradually, Charitra Moh will be destroyed, meaning delusion will be destroyed, and you'll attain liberation. So he's talking about Darshan, he talked about Samyak Darshan also. He's talking about Darshan, different viewpoints, understanding it in totality. What will happen? Samyak Darshan will dawn. Darshan Moh will be destroyed. Charitra Moh will be destroyed. You will attain liberation. So, onus of self-enlightenment is shifted on to, I have showed you, I have indicated, I have prescribed, but it's you who have to carry out the instructions, every step which has been laid down for you, you have to carry out. You need to do. So beautifully explaining this, now the Guru turns to the next verse. In the next verse, he resolves the last argument he had placed for his doubt regarding the path of liberation. The Guru illuminates the right path of liberation to the worthy disciple. Now, resolving his last question regarding the path of liberation. What was it? It was expressed in verse 94. What was it? Which caste or gender and attire is required to attain liberation? What are the conditions regarding caste, gender, attire? Because the word jati means caste also and gender, we exactly don't know what Param Kripadev had in his heart when he used the word jati. So it could have been caste, it could have been gender, it could have been both. And second, attire. So we have 3. Caste, gender, and attire is required to attain liberation.
जाति वेश नो भेद नहीं, कह्यो मार्ग जो होय, साधे ते मुक्ति लहे, हे माँ भेद न कोय.
Jati, you know it, caste or gender. Vesh, garb or attire or clothing. Bhed nahi. There is no discrimination regarding caste, gender or attire. Kayo marg. Because it's a dialogue, no? Between the Guru and Shishya. So what the Guru said. So the said path or the prescribed path of liberation, jo hoy, if there. Sadhe, if you pursue that, if you follow that, te mukti lahe. Whomsoever follows it, attains it. Simple, follow, attain. I don't care which caste you belong to, gender, in which attire you are, whoever follows the absolute path of liberation mentioned above, because we are reading, so I'm saying mentioned above. And yeah, it's a proper dialogue, so kayo marg, the said path. Te mukti lahe, attains liberation. Ema bhed na koi, there is no doubt or difference of opinion regarding it. એમાં ભેદ ન કોઈ. There is no discrimination of caste or clothing, garb, attire, whatever, in the prescribed path of liberation. Whoever pursues it attains liberation. There is no doubt in this. What is moksha marg? What is moksha upaya? What is dharma? What is the path of liberation? After listening for hours and hours, you should be convinced. Impure states eliminated, pure state manifested is the path of liberation. See in every verse from 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106. Up till now, the impure state needs to be eliminated. The pure state needs to be manifested. True nature તો છે જ. એમાં કંઈ કરવાનું છે? કાંઈ નહીં. Regarding your પર્યાય, regarding your state, modifications જે આપણે કહીએ તે, regarding that, impure has to be substituted by the pure state. That is it. In all the three periods of time, ત્રણેય કાલમાં, all the three periods of time, path of liberation is one and same. Heard it before, I think. Which verse? Nemiji, which verse? 36. એક હોય ત્રણ કાળમાં પરમારથનો પંથ. Paramaratha, absolute. The absolute path is one and same in all three periods of time. And mentioned very clearly from verse 98 to 104. The path by which Adinath attained liberation, the path by which Bhagwan Mahavir attained liberation, the path by which Sri Krishna will attain liberation, all it is the same path, because the absolute path does not change with time, place, etc. Relative path changes. But એક હોય ત્રણ કાળમાં પરમારથનો પંથ. Oneness of faith, understanding and conduct. Darshan, Gnan, Charitrani, Ekata, oneness. When all three are there, that constitutes moksha marg. Samyak darshan, Gnan, Charitrani, moksha marga. Tattvad Sutra, first chapter, first sloka. Tattvad Sutra is accepted by all Jains. The Svetambars, the Digambars, even in Svetambars, the Thanakvasis, the Mandir Margi, everyone accepts three things. Three things are common. Naukar Mantra, Tattvad Sutra, Bhaktamar Stotra. You'll find these three common in all. So, oneness of Darshan, Gnan, Charitra, and of course, right faith, right knowledge, right conduct. So, understanding the pure self is right understanding. Conviction of the pure self is right faith. Abiding in the pure self is right conduct, meaning right faith, samyak darshan, right understanding, samyak jnana, right conduct, samyak charitra. Atrani ekta moksha marga. Very clear? Exactly this has been shown in the above verses. This remains same in all the three periods of time. And to make it easy, What is the gist of all these verses from 98 to 104? Annihilation of delusion, attainment of complete dispassion. Annihilation of delusion regarding belief and behavior. See, a summary બોલું છું હું નવું નથી બોલતો કઈ. Summary. Annihilation of delusion, darshanmo and charitramo, and attainment of complete dispassion. When it is pursued in the form of these three jewels, Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gnan, Samyak Charitra, one is certainly going to attain liberation. Very clear. And so it is said in verse 106, truths shown by the enlightened masters, enlightened ones, enlightened souls, meaning experienced and expounded. These are the 6 truths which are experienced and expounded by the enlightened ones. Understanding it, being doubtless regarding it, one destroys the delusion of faith, gradually the delusion of conduct, and attains liberation. Repeating it to make it very, very clear, the connection between these verses. And now the Guru says, one who destroys darshanmo and charitramo attains liberation, irrespective of caste, gender, and external attire, dress. Caste, gender, and attire is not hindrance in the spiritual pursuit. Hindrance to nathi જ. So your question, what is required to attain liberation, which caste, which clothing, in pursuing the laid down path from verse 98 to 104. In pursuing that path, irrespective of which caste you belong, or gender, or attire, irrespective of it, it's not a hindrance in pursuing this mentioned path. There is no discrimination of caste, gender, and attire because all 3 are dependent on the body. And the path of liberation is dependent on the soul's purity. The path of liberation is dependent on the soul, and caste, gender, attire is dependent on the body. So, body hoy to vandho nathi. Body is not a hindrance. Attachment to the body may be a hindrance, but body is not hindrance. So, what is worn on the body or where the body is born, irrespective of caste, dress, and gender, whoever pursues this path attains liberation. You are understanding? This is the logical argument, logical way to resolve it. Okay, this is dependent on the body, this is dependent on the soul. So why are you linking it? And then there are many, many examples in the scriptures which prove this. See, there's a proverb in Gujarati. I know they won't understand, but પાળે તેનો ધર્મ અને બાંધે તેની તલવાર. Who didn't understand? Okay. Dharma belongs to the one who observes it. Sword belongs to the person who wears it on his waist. જેની પાસે તલવાર હોય એની તલવાર, he'll use it. You cannot say કે આ તલવાર તો મારી છે. જેના હાથમાં છે તલવાર તેની છે. Whoever is observing dharma will attain liberation. So you can't question, but you are a Brahmin, you are a Shudra, you are a male, you are a female. Whoever observes, પાળે તેનો ધર્મ, બાંધે તેની તલવાર. વેસ્ટ પર જે બાંધે એની તલવાર છે. કસ્ટડી જેના હાથમાં હોય તેનું છે. Wonderful proverb. Huh? Whoever pursues, whoever follows will attain. And there are abundant examples in the Jain scriptures regarding this. First, understand one thing: there is no law that one should belong to a particular caste, say Brahmin, or a particular gender, say males, or should be in a particular attire, especially the attire prescribed by the Jain scriptures, unclad or white clad. There is no law. Any example? Yes. Scriptures say, I am not saying, the scriptures say, there were Brahmins who pursued the path of the jinas and attained liberation. Brahmins. Example? Gautam Swami. Gautam Swami. Gautam Swami Pramukh Agyaran Gandharo. They were all Brahmins. They belonged to the Brahmin caste. You know, 4 castes, right? Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. So they were all Brahmins. They accepted the chapat. They understood it in totality, from Nai, Nikshep, in every way. And followed, understanding, faith and conduct, they attained liberation. Brahmin. Kshatriya, there were many Kshatriyas who have attained liberation. Anyone? Mahavir Swami Bhagwan. Who else? Abhay Kumar, Prasanna Chandra Rajarshi. So many examples. They were kings, rulers, and they attained. Shrenik Maharaj, I cannot say because not yet attained, but in one birth. Very soon. Few births be named, one birth only. See, actually, I want to tell you one beautiful thing. There are 2 ways to become rich. Anybody wants to become rich? Otherwise, I should not waste time. बहुत थोड़ा है. You want to be rich? So there are 2 ways. 1, put lot of efforts to become rich. Wonderful. Not exciting? Okay. તો કોઈ બિલિયનર તમને અડોપ્ટ કરી દે ને એવું કંઈક કરો. What do you say? One is Dhirubhai Ambani, that path to become rich, and one is to be born in his family. Do you think who are the 2 people, the grandson? Akash and Anant. How much effort did they put to be rich? What did they do? Refuge of Ambanis, Sharan of Ambanis, and they are rich. So 2 ways. One is the Mahavir Swami way, 12 varas, 12.5 years. Ghor, tapasya, dhyan, kayotsar. So, and કેટલી આખા 12 વર્ષમાં કેટલો આરામ? 48 minutes on the first day, first night. 48 minutes. And 12.5 years, no sleep. See the intense efforts. And he was liberated. Second was Shrenik Maharaja. He took Sharan of Bhagwan Mahavir. Didn't do Naukarsi. Even you people do Naukarsi because you get up only so late. Shrenik Maharaja could not take up vrat of Naukarsi also. Full faith in Bhagwan Mahavir. full desire to attain liberation, but he could not put that effort, Purusharth. But he took Sharan of Bhagwan Mahavir, did his bhakti, and what? He is exactly going to be like Bhagwan Mahavir, Tirthankara, after 84,000 years or little more. Right? Pancham Kal, Chatto Kal, Pancham Kal, and Chotho. So, less than 1,00,000 years, and he's going to attain, he's going to become a Tirthankar. He's not put any effort. Just Sharan. Now you choose. You want to be Dhirubhai Ambani, or you want to be Akash Ambani and Anant Ambani, right? What do you want to become? આવા કોઈ મહાપુરુષ મળી જાય પછી આપણે એની સેવા કરીએ, એની ભક્તિ કરીએ, માલા માલ થઈ જાય, રાગ જાય, દ્વેષ જાય, અજ્ઞાન જાય. પહેલા અજ્ઞાન જશે, પછી ઓલ એનિમોસિટી એન્ડ એવર્જન્સ ને એ બધું ચાલ્યું જશે, ડિસલાઇક્સ ને બધું બધું એ ચાલ્યું જશે. Then all the other rag except the Guru rag, everything will be dissolved. And last pelu we just say, Gautam Swami example. See? Chosen? Okay. So we have Gautam Swami, he was a Brahmin. We have Abhay Kumar, who was a Kshatriya. Any Vaishyas have attained moksha? Vaishya? Who? Shalibhadra has not attained moksha, but Anuttar Viman. But Jambu Swami, he was a businessman and he attained moksha from Mathura. Shudra, any Shudra, Harikeshi, Mehta Rajmuni, so many. Even if you belong to a lower caste or you are, say, raised in a low caste family, that is no hindrance to pursue the path of liberation mentioned here. You don't need to be born in a noble dynasty or as a money. No. To pursue this path, undisputed path of liberation, caste is no hindrance. If you pursue, you attain. Rag, Dvesh, Agnan Gaya, I am not going to ask you whether you are a Brahmin or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or a Shudra. It's not. There is no discrimination of caste in this above said path. Second, gender. So regarding the gender, even females have attained moksha. Example, Chandan Bala Mrugavati ji, who was Chandan Bala's Masi and Shishya. She took Diksha from her, so Shishya also. And I'm Sansari relation, I'm Masi. So Chandan Bala, Mrugavati, Marudeva Mata, Mallinath Bhagavan. So even females, even neuter gender. Gange. I'm not going into the story part of the whole thing, but the scriptures say. So it must be your personal liking or disliking if you are saying females can't, neuter gender can't. Because who is a male, female, or a neuter gender? Who? The body or the soul? And how does a soul attain liberation? By focusing on the body or focusing on the soul? So, irrespective of the body in which the soul is residing, if the soul destroys Rag, Dvesh, Agnan, abides in the Sat Chaitanyamai Sarva Bhas Rahit pure soul, he will attain liberation. So, the eligibility of attaining liberation is not restricted to males. The scriptures say so. Third, caste, gender, and third, attire. બધા હલાવે છે, ખબર નહીં ગરમી લાગતી હશે કે શું. Attire. So in which attire is required to attain liberation? Now this is a big question. Red, meaning red, orange, saffron, ochre, yellow. Blue is associated with Sikhism. Green is associated with Islam. White is associated with Shwetambar. Then unclad, Digambar Jain. So which attire is required for liberation? In which attire does liberation occur? That was the question. What does the scriptures say now? So there is one sutra called the Sthanang Sutra. Sthanang, you know, no? Dvadashangi. There are 12 Agam Granths, scriptures, 12. So Dva Dash Ang. Dva means 2, Dash means 10, so 10 plus 2, 12, and Ang. Ang, why? Because all these scriptures say have Ang at the end. Acharang, Thanang, Sutrakutang, Ang. So 12. Out of which the Shwetambars believe 11 are available. So we have 11 agams, out of which one is Thanang. In Thanang Sutra, now this is the ultimate, right? You can debate on other script granths and books, but this is the Agam Granth. So what is the Agam saying? So in this Thanang Sutra, it is said there are 15 types of liberated souls or siddhas. Digambars believe in Thanang Sutra, but they say that the present Thanang Sutra is not the real one. Shwetambars believe that it is exactly Je Bhagwane kayu tu te che ma. So in this Thanang Sutra, it is said, Siddha Panarasa Bheda. There are 15 types of liberated souls. 15 types. I won't go in the detail of the 15. I need only 3, so I will use only 3 from the 15. અમે નાના હતા ત્યારે તો બધું બાયહાટ કરી ગયેલા, તીર્થ અતીર્થ દેશ બેબેની પેરમાં બધું સ્ટડી કર્યું હતું, પણ અત્યારના આઈ એમ નોટ ગોઈંગ ટુ ગો ઇન ધેટ ડિટેલ. In these 15 types of what? Siddhas are siddhas. What are 15 types of siddhas? So the last body from which they were liberated, we are talking of that. 15 types. You know, then they are in the same state. All siddhas are same. But the last life or the last body. So, એમાં 3 એવા છે which are called ગૃહસ્થલિંગ, સ્વલિંગ and Anyaling. They are difficult, but you must know this. There are 3 types. Grihasthaling, Swaling and Anyaling. So ling you can mean dress here. Dress. Grihasthaling, one who has attained moksha in the status of a householder. He had not taken diksha, he was a householder, and Rag, Dvesh, Agnan got destroyed. He attained omniscience and then Nirvan and Siddhahood. You understand? Grihasthalinga. The scripture says, of course there are few examples, because it's a difficult way to be in midst of all these entanglements and stay liberated. It's not easy. So there are few examples, but there is no law that a householder cannot attain liberation. You can't make it a law. Few examples, I agree, because that is difficult. You stay in the ashram life, it's quite easy. But if you were in Bombay, you would be yet on verse 78. ટાઈમ જ નથી મળતો, મન જ નથી થતું જોવાનું. તમે તો દરરોજ જુઓ છો, દરરોજ સાંભળો છો. So in the conducive atmosphere, it is easier. Right? Okay. So one is Gruhasthaling. In the status of a householder, there have been souls who have attained liberation. Then second is Swaling. So Swa, because it's a Jain scripture, Swa would mean the Jain attire. Jain sadhu attire. Whichever. Nudity or white clothes, whatever. Swetambar, Digamba, whatever. Swaling in the status of a attire of a sadhu or sadhvi, of course. હવે તો જેન્ડર તો થઈ ગયું ને, so now I have to use sadhu sadhvi. One has attained moksha. Example. ગૃહસ્થ માટે કયું example આપશો? Who are in the status of an householder and attained a high state, complete dispassion, omniscience, and attained siddhahood. Example. Bharat Chakravarti. He attained Keval Nan when Ilachi Kumar. I know you want to hear the stories of each, but then I will never finish. Ilachi Kumar, Bharat Chakravarti, Marudeva Mata, mother of Bhagwan Rishabdev, on the elephant, going for Bhagwan's darshan. After her son attained Keval Nan, first time darshan. અને આતમ ભાવના ભાવતા 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 મરુદેવા લહે કેવલ જ્ઞાન રે. She can be quoted for the gender thing also and Gruhasthaling also, both. So Gruhasthaling we have examples. Swaling, taking diksha of the, as prescribed in Jainism, so that dress, whatever. Example, Gautam Swami, etc., Jambu Swami, etc., they all took diksha. So the external attire was of a Jain sadhu, and they pursued the above path and they attained liberation. And third, Anya Ling. Now see what the Jain scriptures say. So though it was a little difficult for you, but what does the scripture say? Anya Ling. Because it's a Jain scripture, Anya would mean non-Jain. Swa would mean Jain, Anya would be non-Jain. If one has not embraced Jainism and the Jain way of living and the Jain attire, but worked hard on himself, put in the right effort, destroyed Rag, Dvesh, Agnan, has attained Keval Nan and Moksha. Valkal Chiri and many such. Catholic religion kevaye, Jainism. Jainism can be one of the religion who says even if you are not a Jain, you can attain. You don't need to first embrace Jainism, don't with the attire as the Jain sadhu sadhvis, and then you can attain liberation. That's not what it's a Catholic religion. So when I was doing MA in Jainism, so my first book said કે Jainism જેટલો ઉદાર ધર્મ બીજો કોઈ નથી. It's a Catholic religion. અને કેથોલિક એટલે આપણે તો કેથોલિક ક્રિશ્ચિયાનિટી સાથે જ કનેક્ટ કરીએ. And I realized કે એનો અર્થ ઉદાર થાય છે. So broad-minded, not narrow-minded. You need to be a Jain. I'm not saying કેટલા examples છે, few છે, વધારે છે, but I just want to say there is no law regarding particular caste, gender, or attire. Got it? So clear. So this is Thanang Sutra which is saying this. Now that is ultimate. Agam Sutras nobody can challenge. Siddha Panaras, Panaras meaning 15. Siddha Panaras Bheda. I quoted this in the Rajat Mahotsav. Now I don't know if you can relate. When the scriptures say that even a householder can attain liberation, and you are saying whether Srimad, a householder, can be enlightened. I have the scriptures saying omniscience, and you are doubting enlightenment. That time I had quoted this. પણ તમને તો પેલું જે હાર્ડ લાગે એ તમે સીધું ડિલીટ જ કરી નાખો. Now, if you hear that satsang, you will understand it better. Okay, when the scriptures say that householder, Jain sadhu dress, and even a non-Jain yogi can attain liberation. So, spiritually speaking, you should speak only about destroying rag, dvesh, agnan, and abiding in the pure nature of the self. Bas. If this is done, you are a spiritual aspirant. You are worthy of attaining liberation. Very clear? So we talked about the caste. In all 4 castes, we have seen souls getting liberated. In all 3 genders, we have seen souls getting liberated, and even in different attires. White, red, means whatever. જે બી પહેરવો હોય તે પહેરો. બર્થડે પાર્ટીમાં કોઈ વાર લખ્યું હોય કે you have to wear black or you have to wear pink or purple. That is another thing. But for liberation, there is no law. There is no custom. There may be some prejudices, attachment to their own sect, maybe. But in pursuing the true path, the absolute path of liberation, all 3 are not hindrances. Clear? So, on the absolute path, there is no place for caste, gender, and sectarian attire. Because all 3 are related to the body, and the path of liberation is related to the soul. And body and the soul are separate. So what is of prime importance on the path of liberation? Caste? Options are multiple questions. Multiple choice question. What is of prime importance on the path of liberation? Caste, gender, external attire, complete state of dispassion. A, B, C, D. D. આવું ક્વિઝમાં બી કરજો આવું. So confidently, you don't need to study, you need to understand and believe that this is needed, a complete state of dispassion. That is needed to attain liberation. So simply put in this verse, સાધે તે મુક્તિ લહે. જાતિ વેશનો ભેદ નહીં in the કયો માર્ગ. જે સાધે તે મુક્તિ લહે. So લહે means attain. And સાધે means 2 things. Sasa. સાધે means 2 sa. જે સમજે, જે સાધના કરે. જે સમજે, જે સાધના કરે તેને સિદ્ધિ મળે, તે મુક્તિ લહે. So simple. જે સાધે, જે ફોલો કરે તે પામે. Whoever pursues, whoever follows this absolute path of liberation attains liberation, irrespective of caste. There is no discrimination in the path of liberation. There is no discrimination regarding caste, gender, attire, external dress. Whoever follows it, without fail, will attain. Without fail, achuk, unfailing. રાગ દ્વેષ બધું છૂટી ગયું, પણ હું જરા ફિમેલ છું ને એટલે મને કેવલના નથી થતું. નથિંગ લાઈક ધેટ. રાગ દ્વેષ રહ્યા હોય ને ન થાય તો that is a law. That is a law. કે રાગ દ્વેષ ગયા વિના કોઈને કેવલના ન થાય. કોઈ ગુરુજીએ કીધું તથાસ્તુ અને રાગ દ્વેષને અજ્ઞાન ભરેલા છે, પણ ગુરુજીએ કીધું હે ફટકન કેવલના થઈ ગયું. દેર ઇઝ અ લો. If your Guru Krupa helps you in destroying Rag, Dvesh, Agnan, agreed. But you still have those passions and you cannot get liberated. That is a law. But there is no law of a particular caste, gender and attire. Simple. So, ema bheda na koi. There is no distinction, there is no discrimination, meaning there is no doubt in this fact. There is no difference of opinion regarding this. Jati veshno bhed nahi kayo marg jo hoye sadhe te mukti lahe. Whoever follows will attain. Ema, there is no doubt in this. There is no doubt. So beautifully, and still if you insist, આ તો જોઈએ જ, આ તો જોઈએ જ, ગરમી લાગે છે એટલે કહું છું, આ તો જોઈએ જ. It only shows, it only demonstrates lack of right understanding in you. You are not talking of the inner purity, but you are focusing on the dressing part of it. આ તો જોઈએ જ. કંઈ કેવું છે પણ નથી કેવું છે. With right understanding, you will feel this is insignificant. This I'm genuinely saying. ગરમી લાગે છે એટલે નથી કહેતો. This is insignificant. All thoughts regarding, all insistence, doubts, thoughts, all will dissolve with right understanding by a Sadguru. Sadguru, right understanding, everything. You will find this immaterial. Material, but you will find it immaterial. Immaterial, right? Cotton. But immaterial, insignificant. And everything will dissolve. You will not see કે અચ્છા આ કથા તો કરે છે પણ સાધુ છે કે નથી સાધુ. If you see his heart is pure, you will call him sadhu. કબીરજી સાધુ હતા કે નહીં? કબીરજી સાધુ હતા કે નહીં? ચાંદલો તું કરે છે, જવાબ આપને. સાધુ હતા? એક્સટર્નલી ઇન્ટરનલી એટલે શું? મારે તો પૂજવા કે નહીં? તો કે સાધુના જેવા વર્ચ્યુઝ હોય એવા વર્ચ્યુઝ તને દેખાય તો બિંદાસ બોલ. નમો લોય સૌ સાહુનમ કીધું છે. જૈનોના સાધુ સાધુ એમ નથી કીધું નમો લોય. નૌકા મંત્ર આવડે છે કે નહીં? હા, નમો લોય સૌ સાહુનમ. Whoever is on this path and has developed certain level of virtues is a sadhu. Okay. So you insist, you show that you don't have the right understanding of the path of liberation. If you have the right understanding, caste, dress, gender, everything is insignificant. So when we had this puja, Atma Pits only do the puja and the whole cleaning of the temple, and whoever wants to join can join. But we said we won't keep any pujaris and then they have to do the Chaityavandan also. So the tradition is कि Chaityavandan ma Jai Virai Sutra only males can speak. જેમ તમે લોકોએ રાખ્યું ને હે પરમ કૃપાળુ દેવ બોયઝે જ બોલવાનું. There is no law કે બહેનોએ ગાવાનું, બોયઝે પ્રાર્થના કરવાની. There is no law. We are keeping because boys can't sing, so they want a chance. So that's perfect. Then it is perfect. If this is the reason, it's fine. But if you think the great things the males have to do, it's wrong understanding. Why can't, if they can attain liberation, why can't they say Jai Viray? Why not? પછી તમારા પ્રેજ્યુડિસીસ નાખીને ધર્મના નામે ચલાવો નહીં. તમારું ચોઇસ. સી નાવ યુ અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડ આગ્રહ એન્ડ વિકલ્પ. કે માય ચોઇસીસ કે ભાઈ એ કોઈ વડીલે જ બોલાવવું જોઈએ. આમાં શાંતનું ફાંતનું જેવા ના બોલાવે ટેની મેની. આ તો આમ કોઈ ચીઝ હોય તે એઝ અ માર્ક ઓફ રિસ્પેક્ટ યુ સે કે તમે બોલવું હોય તો પહેલાં બોલો ને તો પછી હું બોલું. સો દેટ રિસ્પેક્ટ પાથ ઓફ હ્યુમિલિટી ઇઝ અનધર થિંગ. બટ ઇફ યુ સે દેર ઇઝ અ લો કે હવે ટીની મિની ઝેરી જેવા લોકો ના બોલવાનું. જે ભાવથી બોલે તેનું છે જય વિરાય. બાંધે તેની તલવાર, પાળે તેનો ધર્મ. ઇનફેક્ટ યુ શુડ અનાઉન્સ કે આજે કોને હાઈએસ્ટ ભાવ છે જય વિરાય બોલવાના, એનું છે આજે જય વિરાય. રાઈટ રોંગ? In every religion, every sect, every subsect, our likes, dislikes, prejudices, social customs, આ બધા એટલા ક્રીપ થયા છે અને ધર્મના નામે રૂલ્સ પ્રમાણે ચાલે, લો બની જાય, કસ્ટમ બની જાય. સોશિયલ કસ્ટમ ઓકે, આઈ ડોન્ટ માઇન્ડ, બટ દે મેક ઇટ અ રિલિજિયસ કસ્ટમ અને એવરીથિંગ ગોઝ હેવર. સો finally, the Guru advises or advocates, leave the blind attachment towards caste, gender, external attire. Leave the blind attachment and strive hard for that complete dispassion. Hey Jeev, focus on the soul, not on the body and the body-related issues like caste, gender, and attire. All body-related. Only if you focus on the true self can you attain liberation. Let's sing.
जाति वेशनो भेद नहीं, कह्यो मार्ग जो होय, साधे ते मुक्ति लहे, ए माँ भेद न कोय.